Hi, this is Dennis Peacock with another edition of the Transforum. What has this recession taught you so far? You know, only fools don't learn from trials. I'm assuming that this is close enough to you as a person, maybe your family, certainly extended friends. I'm trusting that you're feeling the reality that everybody else is feeling around this so-called recession. You know, my parents went through the Great Depression. Any of you that are anywhere near my age and have parents that went through that Great Depression, it made a permanent mark on them in their whole life. One of the things that I saw about the folks that went through it was they had a really hard time throwing anything away. They were very, very careful about food. In fact, they almost hoarded food. It was a very common thing if you've ever been hungry or you've ever had fear that you won't get some other particular item personally ever again. You hoard, you save. So what have you learned? What's this recession taught you about debt, either national debt or personal debt? What about savings? Were you ready? Were you prepared for this interruption? Job security. How secure is your job? Training. Are you so trained that you should be one of the last people out the doors? Are you fireproofing your job? What have you done to fireproof your job? Make yourself so valuable that the boss feels like they can't go on without you, or certainly you'd be on the last list to leave. What about personal planning? What have you learned? Have you learned anything more about economics? I'm assuming with the ratings up, you've watched the news a whole lot more. Do you understand the system better? Do you understand it well enough to be able to look at economic indicators and have that help you in any way in terms of personal planning or job security? Have you learned more about the national debt? I assume you've learned more about health care. Have you learned that the left-right political crisis is getting worse and worse, and in some ways less and less able to help any of us? What about caring for others? That's really what matters. Has this recession given you any new insight as to how you can meaningfully help other people, which is really what matters? You know, whatever happens, however long this recession goes, whether it deepens, whether it turns into something worse, the real issue is what have you learned and what are you learning day by day? This is Dennis Peacock from the Transforum. I hope you're engaging and certainly engaging in learning from life. Hey, let's engage together.